dark, solid state and tube timber, as well as
It's noticeable to me that when I use a 4K mouse, it just feels more responsive.
you can go as fast as you can, just without trying to go on. Hey YouTube, welcome to another mouse review. Today we're talking about the HTX 4K. I know heaps of people have been asking me for a review of this mouse, especially seeing how surprised I was by the HTX Plus 4K, which to this date is still my main mouse and just the one I play the best on. Now, I never planned to purchase the HTX 4K myself and get it in for review, but thankfully G-Wolves Jim actually sent me a review unit here. So big thanks to G-Wolves and Jimbo. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The quick summary of this mouse is that it's phenomenal, so much that I am seriously considering putting this in my S Plus in the tier list. The sensor placement is excellent, the clicks are also light and crispy, and most importantly, the shape is phenomenal for a flatter mouse as intended by design. There honestly isn't any fault I can give it other than to nitpick on battery life and build quality not necessarily being as good as others in the S Plus tier. That's the only thing holding me back from just slapping this straight in there. However, it is still a big step up in build quality compared to the HTX Plus 4K, which I have here. So details, features, and unboxing. The mouse comes in a G-Wolves box, and I just wanted to point out that this box design is sick. I love this wolf image. Lamzu makes the best unboxing experience, while the G-Wolves now makes the best box exterior. Other companies really do need to step up their game. It retails at $169 from the G-Wolves website, and it's available in many different colors too. So over here, we have the cherry pink.
Other color options available are black, red, white, and ruby red.
In addition, you can also pick if you want a solid shell, which I have selected, or a honeycomb shell, which has holes at the back. The difference is that there will be a 4-gram weight difference. So in the box, it comes loaded with accessories, including extra skates. Down the bottom of the box as well, there is a cleaning brush, some stock grips, cables, a lot, you name it. And also, there is a plastic cover that you can place on the bottom of the mouse to prevent dust and things from getting inside if that concerns you. Needless to say, they load you with quite a bit of extras. However, I am not a fan of the stock skate design, whether that be the dots or the regular skates. And also the stock grips suck. So highly recommend just replacing both. The stock ones aren't really good. Now, you get provided with 2 cables because the G-Wolves 4K receiver is still designed with micro USB, but the mouse itself now has been changed to USB-C. So you get 1 cable for the receiver and you get 1 cable for charging the mouse and for updates. Now, it's a big quality of life upgrade to have USB-C on the mouse rather than micro USB, but I hope they can eventually update the receiver as well to become USB-C, so we only have 1 single cable for universal use. So regarding build quality, on my unit, it's good. As much as everyone slanders G-Wolves QC, build quality and customer support, my unit is fine and everything feels on point. The bottom plate here has slight flex, which is what you'd expect given its design, and in no way affects usage. Everything else is fine. The shell is solid, the clicks are fine, there really isn't anything I can complain about. Sensor and sensor placement is the fun part.
This is where the fun begins.
So the sensor features a 3395. As expected, it works flawlessly. Placement is what is important, and oh my god, the sensor placement on this mouse is perfection. Just take a moment to appreciate how the sensor is positioned relative to the rest of the mouse and where you'd grip it. Do you see how far forward that is? Like compared to the front of the mouse and compared to the back? Here is the HTX Plus for reference. As you can see, if I was to match the rears, the one on the HTX is definitely further forward, but then again, it is a longer mouse. Every single other company on the market, every single one, needs to learn from this and put theirs more forward. Why? Because forward sensor placement just means the mouse is easier to aim with. Micro adjustments are just so much more responsive, because your fingertips are what is responsible for micro adjustments. Obviously, I do believe there is a point where it is too far forward, but no mice have reached that point yet. And no, it's not a simple case of if you increase your game sensitivity, it'll account for poorly rare placed sensors. The degree of physical movement and how much input is actually scanned isn't something that sensitivity can just help. Try a forward sensor placement mouse, get used to it, and then you'll know what I mean. In this department alone, regarding sensor placement, the HTX 4K is probably the best placed sensor I have ever tried, period. Now clicks feel light and crispy. Whatever zippy switches G-Wolves is using now here works. The clicks don't feel mush or heavy. It's extremely good for performance. Side buttons and scroll wheel also click fine. I have no negatives to say. Now regarding weight and distribution, this mouse is 43 grams. That's light, like seriously light. For a mouse this size, yet somehow keeping the weight down so much, whatever G-Wolves did is working. Every movement just feels absolutely effortless, and it really is just, well, in regards to distribution, it's also near perfect. Maybe very slightly back heavy, but that's what you'd want in a mouse anyway. Now in terms of skates, the mouse would have came with stock dot skates put on, but I've already ripped those off. Instead, I put HTX plus 4K core pads onto it because I had some left over lying around. And I also took the ring skate centerpiece and put it on the front here. G-Wolves mice are designed with flat bottoms, so you can put whatever skates you see fit. I believe Viper mini skates will also fit perfectly fine on the HTX here, just like it does on my HTS 4K. I do recommend putting some replacements on, stock ones aren't really good. And lastly, shape and comparisons. This mouse is surprisingly long, but it's extremely flat. Now I don't see people enjoying it for palm grip unless you have very small hands and you specifically like to palm grip smaller, flatter mice. Instead, I think this mouse is for those who do fingertip or a hybrid of claw fingertip where you're not fully clawing the mouse and it's more like a claw slash fingertip hybrid. In my personal case, the lack of height really does bother me for my hand size and I can't really use this mouse for claw grip. It honestly doesn't feel locked in. Now, that's also important to note that I have 21x12 hands before anyone asks me again in the comment section, which means that my hands are a bit larger than the vast majority of people out there. For most people with more average sized hands, however, I think this would work perfectly for that fingertip and super relaxed claw hybrid type grip. Instead, if you did do a true tucked into palm kind of claw grip, whether that be aggressive or relaxed, or a full palm grip, then this might not be the best thing. Micro adjustments are just so effortless with this fingertip mobility provided by the shape. When combined that with the ultra lightweight, I really can't say much more than adjustments just feel phenomenal. Now, if you know you enjoy flatter mice, whether that be Final Mouse or Razer Viper series, then this will be for you. Unfortunately, I don't have any mice that I think would make a really good comparison to the HTX 4K here right now. Only the HTS 4K maybe. And the difference here really comes down to, are you a palm claw type gripper or a fingertip claw type gripper? HTS plus 4K for the former and HTX 4K here for the latter. So who should buy this? Well, if flatter mice is your thing, you really need to try this mouse. If flatter mice isn't your thing, but you have small to medium sized hands, then you should still try this mouse because flatter mice might become your thing after you try this. I actually can't recommend this enough. If build quality, QC, general hate for G-Wolves or other factors like that are of concern to you, then I guess don't buy one. So in conclusion, once again, big thanks to G-Wolves and Jim for sending me this review unit. The mouse is truly phenomenal, and they really have cooked something up here. As for me, my next mission is to somehow get my hands on the new purple HTS 4K. Like, give me the purple!